Hi everyone, I hope that all of you are doing well. I'm Arib, and in this lesson, which is chapter 4, supply and demand, the first subsection, I will be talking particularly about supply. So, what is supply? Supply, as the name suggests, has some connection to producers or, as someone might say, firms. And this is a supply curve that I've drawn out here. Supply, as you can see, in the x-axis we have quantity supplied, and in the y-axis we have price. I have set the dollar as the price, but you can put any currency you want. And supply is, as you can see, a positive line, which is why I've written positive. But before getting before explaining the graph, I would like to talk about what supply intrinsically means. Supply itself, in economics class that we have learned, and I'll try to explain it in a simpler way. Supply is the number of goods and services that a producer or a firm or a, let's say, company is willing to produce and sell at the market at a given price. For example, let's say the glasses that I'm wearing, a glass or spectacles, or some might say this glass is, let's say a producer might make these for $80, and in the market they're selling it for $150. Therefore, in the supply curve that we see, let's say the producers max, the minimum price that they're willing to sell it is, let's say, $150 is the maximum that they're willing to sell, and let's say $90 is the minimum they're willing to sell, because to manufacture the glasses, I said that it's $80. So this line represents that. This line represents the minimum amount that the producers are willing to go. Beyond this or below this, they will not sell. Therefore, that's what essentially the supply curve means. That below that, this is the line, and the producer, this is the minimum that they're gonna sell for. Now, I would like to talk about the axes. Most of the time, a lot of students are confused with the supply and demand. Therefore, when purely talking about supply graphs, always mention its quantity supplied. And in the next chapters, we'll see that quantity supplied and supply are very different things. So therefore, when we are talking about supply, unless there are shifts in the curve, which we'll explore in a later chapter, much later chapter, we'll always refer to the amount of supply as quantity supplied, not just supply. And this is the price. Now, I would like to bring the viewers' attention to the supply curve, and basically I would like to show willing and able game. So basically, in supply curve, the producers are, as I've said before, they're willing and able at this amount. And it's also important to note that this amount is fixed for temporary. In the longer or in much later time in the market, this will obviously shift. So this is all temporary, and that's the assumption that we are making. So this is the supply curve, and essentially it's also important to know that supply curve is always positive, because let's say the quantity supplied, we can see that the quantity supplied increases as the price also increases. So what does this mean? This means that as the price of a product increases, the producers are willing to produce more of it. They're incentivized to produce more. Because think about it. If I am a let's say a car manufacturer, I can produce cars at like 100 cars per day, and if the buyers are willing to pay $200,000 for one car, then obviously I'm going to make more of that car, because I'm incentivized to sell more and make a profit. It's always important to understand, I cannot stress this enough, that firms are profit seeking. They are profit seeking. In a free market economy, we always say firms are profit seeking. Therefore, as the price increases, not 100% of the time, not even 99% of the time, 100% of the time, majority of the firms, they will supply more, because if the price is more, then they're willing to produce more and sell at that higher level price. if that makes sense. And intrinsically it also makes sense. So overall, that's the core reason why supply curve is always positive. So in a graph, if in one of the practice problems, if you encounter, remember that when we are talking about supply, keep in mind it will always be positive, because as the price increases, producers are willing and able to sell more at the higher price. So essentially that's what the supply curve is. Thanks for tuning in, and in the next lesson we'll talk about what the demand curve is. Thank you.